I'm trying this again. This is like the fourth or fifth time I've been trying this. I rebooted my phone, I shut the Wi-Fi off, I reconnected, and it looks like this is a better connection. So here I am again. For those of you that joined earlier, hopefully you'll log back in and watch this again. And for those of you that are watching the replay, you won't know the difference. So, hi everyone. My name is Rachel, and I'm the proud founder of Siopa Seize Your Passion. And I'm here every Friday, live from the Facebook group at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, just walking the walk that I talk and sharing with you guys my growth for the week, my lessons learned, my aha moments on my journey to seize my passion, become my best self, realize my dreams, achieve my goals, and create my life of purpose, passion, and fulfillment. So this week, I had a huge aha moment. I had a huge lesson learned, which is all about focus without tunnel vision, right? And I firmly believe more and more on my journey that everything in life has a yin and a yang, right? And it's this constant finding the right balance between, the two sides to every coin. And that's the case for this epiphany that I had this week as well. Focus without tunnel vision, right? So one side of the coin is the focus side, which is essential to realize your dreams, seize your passion, become your best self, achieve growth, and create a life full of purpose, passion, and fulfillment, right? You have to have a very clear focus on what you want, what your dreams are that you want to realize, what the goals are you want to achieve, what kind of life you want to create for yourself that is full of purpose, passion, and fulfillment, right? You have to have very clear understanding and focus on what that is. And then you have to take actions that are very clearly focused on achieving that end vision, dream, goal, life that you want to create, right? And again, without that focus, you won't grow and you won't achieve those dreams and goals, because that's why a lot of people just float through life, right? They don't even stop and focus on, okay, what is it that I actually want? What dreams do I want to realize? What kind of life do I want to create for myself? So without that, hi, welcome back. I'm so glad you're back. I rebooted and took off the Wi-Fi, so hopefully this time it's a better connection. So I'm just starting over, so bear with me. So again, one side of the coin is having that focus, which is essential, again, to any dreams you want to realize, any goals you want to achieve. You have to understand what you want. You have to focus on what you want, and you have to have a clear understanding what steps you need to take, the actions you need to take to achieve those goals, to ultimately get to that end result, that end vision, that end dream that you want to realize, right? And it's essential. But again, like everything in life, there is the flip side to that coin. And if you focus too much and you don't acknowledge the balance and the other side of that coin, then you will get to a place of rigidity and missed opportunities, and essentially tunnel vision, which will not propel you to grow and move forward, will not enable you and empower you to realize those dreams and achieve those goals, because that's what tunnel vision does, right? And that's what being overly focused does, right? We become, first of all, rigid and robotic almost, that we don't allow our humanity and real life to sort of play out within our focus, right? It's not letting the focus completely go, but it's keeping that focus, but also keeping it fluid and not rigid, and being open to opportunities that don't necessarily seem at first glance as if they're in line with your focused goals, right? And that's exactly what happened to me this week. And that was such an aha moment and such a huge lesson learned for me, because I had been trying to connect with this person for my very focused vision and goals that I want to achieve and dreams I want to realize. There was this person that I, for over a year, had been wanting to connect with. And I reached out to her several times about a year ago, didn't get any response. And a couple of months ago, I was presented with a completely different opportunity that had nothing to do with my sort of focused path and vision and the steps and the goals that I had set out for myself, that I was focusing on to achieve those ultimate end results and goals and dreams that I wanted to realize. And so this opportunity that had nothing to do, or so it seemed, had nothing to do with my path that I was so focused on, right, presented itself to me. And I had two sort of initial gut thoughts, right? I won't say reactions, because I think a reaction is more your intuition, and my intuition was what allowed me to be open to the opportunity. But my thoughts, my initial thoughts, which were driven by fear, is what sort of initially I said, well, my first thought was, I'm flattered, right? It was nice for my ego, but that wasn't a reason to do it, right? Just to feed my ego and accept the opportunity. And I kind of put that aside, right? I knew it was my ego. Okay, I'm flattered. That's nice. But my next thought was, this isn't aligned with my focus and with my path and with how I see, you know, the steps I need to take in order to realize my dreams and achieve the goals that I am focused on. And so initially I thought, I have to say no. And part of being focused and you know, being driven to realize your dreams and achieve your goals does require sometimes for you to say no to certain opportunities or distractions sometimes that present themselves to you. But they're not always distractions. And they're not, and even though an opportunity may seem like it's not in line with your focused path, oftentimes it could be. And if you're not open to that and to exploring that and to possibly seeing that and possibly saying yes instead of no sometimes, then you will have missed that opportunity. And that's exactly what happened in this case, right? So this opportunity presented itself, and initially I thought no, because it was driven by a fear of, if I do this, it's going to suck away my time and my energy, and it's not in line again with my focused path that I see for myself as achieving my goals and realizing my dreams. But then I took a step back and I really sort of had a conversation with myself and thought about it. And I said, and something in my intuition sort of said to me, well, maybe, you know, it doesn't seem on its face as if it's directly aligned with your path, but really when you look at it, there's a lot of sort of elements of this opportunity that ultimately could lead to becoming aligned with your path and could help you, propel you to grow forward, I said to myself, right? And so I accepted this opportunity, still having that slight doubt and fear that, oh my God, is this going to take me off my path? And thank God I did, because again, there was this woman who for over a year I had been trying to connect with, and when I accepted this opportunity, I wasn't even thinking of her or my path in that way. And working on this new opportunity, I had a reason to reach out to her again. Something came up for an event, and I immediately thought of her as a perfect fit for what we're looking for. And so I reached out again. Now, whether she remembered me from a year ago or not, I have no idea, and it doesn't really matter, because I reached out to her in this case solely for this other opportunity. And I immediately got a response, and we connected, and it was amazing. And not only is she gonna do this opportunity, but I have no doubt that this is the conversation opener for aligning that opportunity and that path, which I didn't see as being part of my focus, with my focused path. And it really opened that door, which otherwise may not have opened for me had I not said, you know, yes to this other opportunity. Had I had tunnel vision of only being so focused on my goals and my path and how I see myself getting there, I would never have been able to connect with her, which is something I wanted to do for over a year now, that had to do, that I saw as that's the way to get her on my path, or to connect with her so that it serves my path and my purpose. So again, it just made me realize how important it is to, yes, have focus, but not to the point where it causes you tunnel vision and where you're not open to certain opportunities that, even if they don't seem in the moment directly aligned with how you see your path, they often have a way, and not all of them, right? There are opportunities or distractions that have nothing to do and will never get you, will never sort of merge with your path. but there are often many opportunities that will. And I think if you're open to that, and if you understand that, and if you're aware of it, and you have that conversation with yourself, you have to have the focus first, right? You have to know what your path is and where you want to go and how you want to get there, but not to the point of being so closed off that you don't see everything around you. Because life doesn't work that way, and we don't work that way, you know. And the other sort of danger of having that tunnel vision is not only missed opportunities, which could have happened to me had I not been open enough to accept this other opportunity, but also the danger of, becoming so rigid and robotic that you lose your passion for what it is you're doing and why you're doing it in the first place, right? You become so stuck on the goals and the routines and the rigidity of I have to do this A, B, and C, that you're not open to sort of, again, your own humanity and the ebbs and flows of life, and allowing yourself to not, to break the pattern maybe once in a while. And yes, it's important to have rituals and habits and consistency, but it's also just as important, again, that yin yang, to find that balance and to sometimes take a step back and to change things up and to change your routine and to be open to certain things. Because again, it's not only the missed opportunities, it's losing that humanity, that engagement, that passion that drives us, and that why we're doing this in the first place, why we set these goals in the first place, why we want to achieve whatever we want to achieve, why we want to grow, right? If you're stuck, if you're rigid, then you're stuck, and then you're not growing. And that's not a positive place to be, and that's not going to propel you forward, regardless of what your dreams are, what your goals are, and how you see, your path and your focus of creating the life that you want to live, that's full of passion, purpose, and fulfillment. So it's such an important lesson, globally, again, everything has two sides to the coin. There's this constant balance, and it's tricky to figure out what the right balance is. And you won't always make the right decisions, but it's for me, I realized how important it is to remember to be open and not rigid in whatever, whether it's, yes, be focused, but also be open to other opportunities and be open to what's around you and be in the moment and don't be stuck in the rigidity of it, or whether it's, anything else that has, again, the flip side, again, rituals, routines, consistency, yes, important, necessary, but not to the point where, sometimes it's just as important to break away from that and change it up and break your routine and take time off and get out of your comfort zone and all those things. Everything has two sides to the coin, and finding that balance, and being aware of that balance, and listening to yourself, and having that conversation with yourself to figure out what the right balance is for you is just huge, and I think that's really what they mean when they say, and I firmly believe this, but this really cemented it for me, that expression. It's a quote, I forget from who at the moment. I think Emerson actually said it, that, when you focus on something or when you think something, the universe sort of responds. I think that's what it really comes down to is, if you're focused but open to the things around you, with that focus still in mind, but not to the point of tunnel vision, then all these opportunities open up for you, and the universe seems to respond. And opportunities that, if you had the tunnel vision, seem like they would never be aligned with what you want to achieve, they really are. And that's the universe sort of speaking to you and opening up to you and responding to you if you're open to it. So huge lesson for me this week, is really the two sides of the coin. Specifically in this case for me this week, yes, focus is so important, and it being a primary focus in your everyday life, but don't forget the flip side of that coin, and don't forget the balance, and don't become so rigid and so focused that you have tunnel vision, because that defeats the purpose of the focus in the first place, which is growth and expansion and becoming your best and achieving your goals and realizing your dreams. Yeah, so that's it. I'm glad I finally made this work. Connection was terrible in the beginning, but I did it. And have a great weekend, everyone. Seize your passion. I'll see you next week. Bye.